And we're back on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask. We're hanging out today with Corey with Marshall Monuments, talking all things, making sure that you have the best connection when it comes to memorializing your loved ones. And Corey, you and your company, you're the choice in Southern Indiana. So let's talk about that. Tell us about Marshall Monuments, where you're located, and let's talk about the types of monuments that you do.
Thank you, Kelly. Like she said, I'm Corey Churchman with Marshall Monuments. We're at 106 South Water Street in Salem, Indiana. And we've been here since 1946, and we are known as the best in Southern Indiana for several reasons. We're well stocked. We have hundreds of monuments available for you to choose from. We still do all of our own in-house design, in-house engraving, everything by hand. We're available to you from start to finish, and we're very proud to serve Southern Indiana since 1946.
That's super awesome. So I know that there's so many trends kind of come and go as far as when we memorialize loved ones. Tell us what you might be seeing now in the way of designs. What are people wanting? I can look around and see, oh, you can do vases. Oh, you can do shapes now and etching and pictures. And let's talk about that.
Sky's the limit, really. I mean, you can think outside the box as much as you want. I've noticed a trend lately, mostly with people wanting to kind of have a bit of nostalgia and kind of emulate stones that like their grandparents have or their parents have, and then so like families can have stones that are all very matching when you see them in a cemetery. It's kind of a cool effect, like when you drive by a section in a cemetery and you see stones that kind of mirror one another. It's a very cool effect. It says, hey, this is our family, this is where we are, and this is where we pay our respects.
So if someone wants to do the custom process of picking out a headstone, or maybe even they want to replace an old one or resurface, we just talked about that. Tell me how that process works, and can you do repair and all those good things?
Certainly, anything that sits outside all four seasons or something that's been there for a long time, maybe several decades, you might want to add something to it or something that you've left off. We can definitely evaluate whatever certain situation is happening and go out there and look at the stone and figure out what we need to do. Maybe we can add to it directly there in the cemetery with our carving equipment, or we could bring it back in our workshop and freshen it up and make it look brand new.
I love that, and so will everyone else listening and watching today. Tell me about, of course, we always comes down to dollars and cents, so I know you have some options for folks on payments.
We certainly do. We offer in-house financing. We like to work with you based on what works best for you. A monument often is a scenario where it's maybe an unexpected expense. We like to work with you in a way that you feel comfortable. If that's, you just want to make monthly payments on it, or some people just prefer to pay half down and the balance due when you're 1,000% happy with it and it's there at the cemetery. I'm very easy to get along with. I'm very easy to work with, and I like to be available to you throughout the process. So there's no surprises. It's very straightforward. Your design fees are included in the base price of the monument. So whether you want a very simplistic design or you want to get very creative, that's always included in the price.
All right. Marshall Monuments, some of the best in Southern Indiana. Definitely reach out to Corey and his staff to get connected for a monument or a memorial or a vase or urn, anything that you would like to memorialize your loved one, even pets too, right?
Yes.
Yes, so we can take care of the entire family. Corey, I know you have so many different choices when it comes to monuments, and I know it's important for people to understand where their stone comes from. Why should we care about that? Let's talk about, and also you have a big summer sale to talk about.
We sure do. Here at Marshall Monuments, we have hundreds of monuments in stock and available. This summer long, all summer long, I should say, we're going to do an all-American sale. Granite is quarried all over the world, and America is home to some of the finest granites. We deal strictly in granite, so everything you see is granite, and no matter where it comes from in the world, it has the same likeness, durability, hardness. It's all going to hold up the same. But all summer long, we're running deep discounts on all of our in-stock American gray granite, American black granite, morning rose granite, brown mahogany granite, you name it, we have it. So if you would want to come visit us at 106 South Water Street in Salem, Indiana, you would see the vast selection of monuments that we have, passing our savings on to you.
Yeah, that is amazing. So if you've been waiting, some people like to wait until they know exactly what they want. Now's the time, because you're going to save the most. So do come to Marshall Monuments, located in Salem, just right off the square. You'll find them on Water Street. We'll be back here on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask. When it's time to honor a life well lived,
Trust Marshall Monuments in Salem. For generations, family have turned to them for quality craftsmanship and compassionate service. From custom headstones to timeless memorials, they help you create a lasting tribute that reflects the love and legacy of your loved one. Visit Marshall Monuments, where memories are carved in stone and hearts are never forgotten.
And we're back on Southern Indiana now. I'm Kelly Trask. We're hanging out with Dina at Little Twirl. This is one of the best locations. It's definitely worth the drive in Southern Indiana to go get some ice cream or great food. And of course, people have been doing it for 50 years, right,
50
Dina?
years, yes.
Yeah, that's super exciting. So we're going to talk about that today. And this is part of our Hoosier Hustle segment. And definitely another reason why I love my job. So
oh, yes.
this is the place to go.
Get
but
to
you
eat.
said we were going to Little Twirl. Like, yes, 50 years people have been coming here. Let's talk about what makes it special here. Why is it worth the trip? What do people come here for?
Well, the food that we buy and sell is the top of the line. I don't buy the cheap stuff. I don't try to pass off cheap stuff, and everything we sell, we like.
Yeah.
So
you'll eat yourself.
Yes. And the whole premise of the restaurant started with Howard Struthers back when dairy bars, drive-up dairy bars, were very popular all over the county, all over the state. And he always believed in selling more than you're paying for.
Okay.
And so we got the largest ice cream cones. We for years up to just this year, we sold 10-ounce breaded tenderloins.
Wow.
Tenderloins are the state meat.
Yes.
And we just recently got to the point we couldn't get them anymore.
Yeah.
So now we have a 7-ounce that's a full pork chop, all tenderized and breaded.
Oh my gosh.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I think it's better than the 10-ounce was. So
Yeah.
But we've got double cheeseburgers, and we've got farm boys around here, so they eat a lot of food.
So Dina, let's talk about some of the favorite desserts people order here. I know you mentioned you have the tallest cone in Southern Indiana. So let's talk about some of the other things you get orders for.
Well, we have the cobblers. We have blackberry, apple, peach, and cherry.
And those are made homemade?
They are not homemade, but they are made just like I would make them.
Yeah.
They come with a crust on the bottom and a crust on the top, and
okay.
pie filling in between.
Sounds
It doesn't get
amazing.
any better than that.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
And one of our premier sells is the peanut butter shakes.
Okay.
So a lot of peanut butter.
Peanut butter shakes. All right.
We go through a tub of peanut butter a day.
Wow. Okay. Must be good. And on the food side, I know you have fried pickled spears.
We got fried
that a
pickle
big
spears.
favorite here?
That's our seasonal thing from Memorial Weekend to 4th of July.
Okay.
And then starting the 4th of July weekend, we'll have cheese curds.
Okay.
And that lasts until Labor Day weekend.
All right.
And so that's always our specials every year that we have.
Yeah.
And people love the fried pickles. I'm not a pickle person.
Yeah. Well, it goes with the tenderloins. So
Yeah,
you kinda have to
I'm
have
not.
it. Yeah, it's like peanut butter
I
and
love
jelly.
the cheese curds, but
Yeah.
I'll pass
fried
on.
cheese is always good. I've never met a fried cheese I didn't like. So I love it. All right, so we're going to have to definitely look at some different ice cream things when we're here and just have some fun.
Oh,
but,
banana split. We do a full-size banana split.
oh, okay.
And it is a full-size
Yeah. Yeah.
whole banana.
Yeah, I love it. Well, you have plenty of parking. Tell us when you're open.
We are open right now for the summer hours until Labor Day weekend, Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 8.
Wow.
And Friday and Saturday, 11 to 9.
Okay.
Now, after Labor Day weekend, then we back off an hour, so it'll be closing at 7 and 8. So.
All right. This is definitely a gem in Southern Indiana. Livonia is west of Salem and definitely east of the Paoli area, just north of Hardinsburg. So super easy to find. You can get here. We recommend that you do, especially before I eat all the ice cream and the pie. So come on out. Southern Indiana now. I'm Kelly Trask.
Wherever you go, our stations have your music, local news, local sports, and local weather covered. 95.3 WUME brings you today's best hits, along with Paoli sports, local news, and weather. 98.7 WSCZ plays the timeless favorites from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, as well as local weather and Orleans high school sports. And 96.9 WKLO keeps it country with all your favorite classic country hits, plus Corridon and North Harrison high school sports, as well as local news and weather. Your soundtrack for Southern Indiana is found on 95.3 WUME, 98.7 WSEZ, and 96.9 WKLO.
And we're back on Southern Indiana Now, and we are just honored to be a part of an event that's happened for several years under our Hoosier Happening segment today. We definitely wanted to feature Bob with Premier CountryMark fuel locations, several in Southern Indiana, and super excited to talk about this event coming up Friday, though. So this is just in a couple days. So we're super excited to be a part of this event. You guys have been doing this for quite a while, right?
Yes, we've been doing it for a long time, and Premier has always been excited and very honored to be a part of this with CountryMark.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the Premier CountryMark Fueling Freedom event. And of course, tell everybody what it is, how the money is raised, who it goes to, and how people can help.
Sure. So Fueling Freedom is all about the National Guard readiness groups and the USO. And the idea here is to raise money for them and to raise money for their families, especially troops that get asked to go overseas or get called on orders and their families left behind. It may be somebody who, sadly enough, isn't coming back and family's kind of displaced and doesn't know what to do, and that's what this event is for. And then 50 cents of every gallon we sell on Friday from noon to 5 goes back to the National Guard and USO.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I've had the opportunity to talk to some of the families who were present at the events over the years, and this is something they all come together for. I mean, it just means so much to them to know that if they have a problem or something happens, that there's somebody there that can help.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to tell you, I have never seen a Guard member more excited or more honored to be there and participate. And some of them bring their families and kids with them. And if you happen to come by and visit us that day, you're bound to see spouses and kids running around with them.
Speaking of coming by, let's tell everybody the time and the locations and what people can expect, because you guys roll out the red carpet, giving away tons of stuff, raffles. So let's talk about all of it.
So it goes from noon to 5 on Friday, the 27th this Friday. Seymour will have food outside, and so will in Brownstown. And anything that we make outside goes back to them at the end of the day. So it's not like we're taking in the funds ourselves. Yeah. We turn it around and give it right back to them before they leave at the end of the day. Yeah. We've got raffle drawings. We got a bike to give away. We have gift cards we got from the community. And I can't tell you the love and support we've gotten from Jackson County and all the donations we've had. People just giving us gift cards like crazy giveaway. I'll ask you just come in, say hi, get some fuel. And you might walk away with some prices that day.
I mean, you're going to do something on your list anyway. I mean, everybody's getting gas before the weekend.
Everybody's getting gas. I just need you to wait till Friday.
You just got to wait till Friday. Yeah. Well, and speaking of, if you are a commercial operator or trailer, you can bring in your boats or your gas cans or all the things. I've been draining my gas cans down.
So, wonderful. So please, deplete your tanks until Friday and then fill up with us.
Run on fumes. Please do not fill up on Thursday.
Well, not on fumes, but get down a couple gallons.
Yeah, okay. I was being exaggerated.
And be there from noon to 5.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Well, and I know the radio station's 92.7 is going to be broadcasting live, and they'll be giving away thousands of dollars worth of prizes too. So that's going to be fun.
Absolutely, and we love the participation that you give us, and how you go all out for this event. And I try to get all our vendors involved. Cisco Foods has been a trooper this year. Frito-Lay, Coke, Pepsi have all dipped in and volunteered. Even Frito has dipped in and given us some chips this year.
And I think you said Monster is going to be on
Monster will be at our sites this year. I would assume they're going to have some games out there and some giveaways, whether it be Monster drinks or Rain energy drinks. So if you need a energy fix, come on by.
Yeah, I mean, it is really going to be a great event. And usually the gas prices are pretty amazing too. So
yes, they usually are.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see what everything holds in the market right now, but we'll see on Friday.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't have to do anything extra other than get gas, because CountryMark is taking care, and Premier is taking care of the 50 cents donation. So that's not coming out of anyone's pocket.
All you got to do is show up, and if you don't want to get out of your car and pump gas, we'll pump it for you that day from noon to 5.
That's really old school and awesome. I love it. Yeah,
absolutely.
I love that. Okay. Well, definitely make sure you attend Fueling Freedom. It's noon to 5, Seymour, Brownstown and Crothersville, but also Bloomfield too.
In Bloomfield too.
Yeah,
Yes.
so definitely can check out those locations. Make sure you're filling up for freedom and supporting the family readiness group of our National Guard. And you can definitely check that out and get more information. But of course, you can walk away with some great prizes too. We'll be back right here on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask.
Join me, Jay Hubbard, weekdays from 6 to 10. Every morning, it's Jay's Morning Wake Up Call, blending today's greatest country hits with local news, weather, and a couple laughs. Jay's Morning Wake Up Call on 92.7 WXKU.
And we're back on Southern Indiana Now. I'm Kelly Trask, and we're honored to be visiting with Ryan Buchanan with Skyline Suites, located in Salem, Indiana. Of course, it's an assisted living facility, but definitely an amazing place to call home. So let's talk about why Skyline Suites is so special. I know you've been here quite a while, so you can definitely tell us all the fun secrets.
Yeah, we opened in 2018. It was a brand new concept to our area as far as, that niche time period in your life where you really can't be independent safely at home, and you require some physical assistance throughout the day. And so there's the concept of assisted living, right? And so we wanted to create something as close to home as you could possibly get without that institutional feel. And we feel like we've been pretty successful with that here at Skyline.
Yeah, you absolutely have. So when people live here, it definitely fosters independent living. Let's talk about some of the things people do as part of their daily life, and just a different place to call home.
Right. So right out of the gate in the morning, breakfast is made to order. So it kind of creates that restaurant feel, but you still independently make a decision on what you want for your breakfast. And while you're out eating, then we're going to clean your room, treat it like a hotel room, essentially. You're encouraged to do as much of your personal self-care as possible, right? So readying yourself for the day, bathroom, brushing your teeth, getting dressed. We're on standby assistance for some of our residents for showers and bathing. Others, we actually physically assist with that process. But what we like to say to all of our residents is we're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to provide help to you when you need it. And if you don't need us, that's okay too. Well,
let's talk about the culture and the lifestyle. I know people kind of come and go and just live their life and do all the things. So let's talk about the fun things that everyone gets to do.
Right. So there are daily activities that we have here, and that could range from the obvious things like bingo and crafts to shows that outside performers put on, hymn sings, Bible study. We do try to do a monthly trip where we take the residents out within 45 minutes or 60 minutes of the facility. Sometimes that's an event, sometimes it's a meal. We really leave that up to the residents to kind of let us know what they're in the mood for that month. But it's not typically what you would expect as far as assisted living or nursing home goes. A lot of people tell themselves a story about what it's going to look like or smell like, how big the rooms are going to be. So our rooms are much larger than what you would expect. Our smallest room's 550 square feet on up to 830 square feet. So it's really the size of a nice apartment. And it's appointed like a suite level hotel room is.
I love that. So if someone would like more information, especially about the financial piece of it, or making an appointment saying, hey, this might be something I need to consider in the next few years, or setting this up for a loved one, well, how does that process work?
Sure. Oftentimes people don't look into assisted living until they absolutely have to, right? And that's okay. I mean, that's just life. But for those who want to do a little investigation ahead of time and maybe learn about it, I'm more than willing to take questions and just be that information source. So they can contact me, Ryan, at 812-320-3761, or you can look us up online at SkylineSuitesIndiana.com. All of our contact information is there. You can set up a tour, schedule some things. And if you want to schedule a tour, you can. If you just want to pop in on us, that's great too. We're always open to visitors. So we can schedule an individual meeting and we get really detailed if you want. But yeah, I'm always here.
So Ryan, let's talk now about the different transitions as different care is needed. I know you have different kind of levels of care. How does all that work, and how do we know how to pick that for our loved ones?
Right. Well, assisted living is what it sounds like. You are physically assisting a resident with the activities of daily living, dressing, bathing, medication management, food prep and service, laundry, housekeeping. So then there comes a point as you age in place. That's the goal, right? I don't want to move again. I don't want to have to relocate to another facility.
Right, makes sense.
So if everything runs perfectly, right? The end time comes and we didn't have to do anything different. It just happened naturally. And then there are other times when hospice is appropriate. And oftentimes people get a misconception of what hospice is because it's way too long down the road before it's actually implemented, right? So as we see changes in our residents here, we can incorporate third-party hospice providers to help us with that care here. We don't have a physician on staff here, but hospice provides nurse practitioners and physician consultations, weekly registered nurse visits here inside the four walls of Skyline, so they don't have to leave to do those things, right? And as medical concerns arise, they're just a phone call away. They can be here the same day to actually lay eyes physically on that resident. So it allows us to maintain those residents here in assisted living for much longer.
Yeah.
Sometimes right up until the end of life.
Well, it's great that people don't have to continue to move to get the care that they need.
Right.
So you're able to assist them in all those different levels of care. So that sounds great. So Ryan, let's talk now about the different transitions as different care is needed. I know you have different kind of levels of care. How does all that work, and how do we know how to pick that for our loved ones?
Right. Well, assisted living is what it sounds like. You are physically assisting a resident with the activities of daily living, dressing, bathing, medication management, food prep and service, laundry, housekeeping. So then there comes a point as you age in place. That's the goal, right? I don't want to move again. I don't want to have to relocate to another facility.
Right, makes sense.
So if everything runs perfectly, right? The end time comes and we didn't have to do anything different. It just happened naturally. And then there are other times when hospice is appropriate. And oftentimes people get a misconception of what hospice is because it's way too long down the road before it's actually implemented, right? So as we see changes in our residents here, we can incorporate third-party hospice providers to help us with that care here. We don't have a physician on staff here, but hospice provides nurse practitioners and physician consultations, weekly registered nurse visits here inside the four walls of Skyline, so they don't have to leave to do those things, right? And as medical concerns arise, they're just a phone call away. They can be here the same day to actually lay eyes physically on that resident. So it allows us to maintain those residents here in assisted living for much longer.
Yeah.
Sometimes right up until the end of life.
Well, it's great that people don't have to continue to move to get the care that they need.
Right.
So you're able to assist them in all those different levels of care. So that sounds great. You can check them out online, Skyline Suites, and you can Google that for Washington County. We'll be back right here. I'm Kelly Trask. If you'd like to send us your pet photo, we would like to feature your furry friend right here on Southern Indiana Now. Send us a photo at southernindiananow@gmail.com. And of course, we would like to pick one each and every week to be featured. And of course, you could win a special prize if you do that. So make sure you get connected. And also, you can find us on Facebook at Southern Indiana Now. We also want to know if you have some special show ideas or anything you would like to have us featured in and around Southern Indiana. Maybe it's a special place you'd like to go. Maybe it's a hidden gem. Maybe it's I found a taller ice cream cone. Whatever the case is, we want to make sure that we find all the favorites right here. So you can send us an email again at southernindiananow@gmail.com. We'll be back here next week for a special episode. Make sure you don't miss it. And of course, you can find us all the places where you can download a podcast, including Apple, Spotify, our YouTube channel, website, and so much more. So do stay connected. And of course, we'll be back here next week. I'm Kelly Trask.